Hello peeps and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout called Demonic by Revange Nutrition, and we got Cross the Limits to thank for sending it down for an honest review as we cover the taste, the price, the label and the effects. How is this pre-workout going to come together? Is it going to be the next one on your list to pick up? Stay tuned and we'll get into it all. And if you are new here and you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, tick the bell icon and drop your thoughts below on this pre-workout and anything else you want to see us review. Alright, it's taste and mixability time, and the flavour we've got is Tiger's Blood, which is normally like a strawberry coconutty type flavour. I've had to bring in Aaron 2.0 for this review to give his sippy whippy opinion as well. Mixability is only a 7.5 gram scoop, so there's not too much in there that hasn't mixed. It's not too bad, but let's give it a go. Yeah, it tastes like blended up, molten down sun cream with a pina colada. You've got to imagine you're in Cancun in an all-inclusive holiday and they've given you half pina colada, half sun cream. I'd say that's an accurate representation. You have a go.
Yeah, mixability's average.
And then we'll come to an overall score.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, right, so on the count to 3 we'll do an overall score then, yeah? 1, 2, 3. 4 out of 10.
Oh,
really?
3 out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it does taste coconutty and like a Tiger's Blood, but it's just got like a chemical bitterness to it and like a slimy, almost sun cream taste. Yeah, so 3.5 out of 10 as an overall, yeah, it's not great. So you can pick this up from crossthelimits.co.uk using our 5% discount code RB5%, every little helps. You can pick it up for £28.27p, and the good point is that it's 40 servings, 40 genuine servings. It is only a small 7.5 gram scoop, it's more of a stim heavy package which we'll get into. So 40 servings is very, very good. You almost don't see it at all these days. You normally see 20, 25, very rarely 30, but hardly ever 40 servings. And it works out as 71p per serving, and when you put it against our consistent price scale that measures how expensive pre-workouts are from across the world, it falls in at a very, very, very respectable 9.5 out of 10, missing a 10 out of 10 by 1p. So how's that bang for buck going to translate in terms of the real world effects? Is it going to be worth picking it up in the first place? Okay, let's get into this sketchy ass label. So 7.5 gram scooper, which is probably roughly half of what you'd typically see these days, but we're not looking at a pumpy product here, so do bear that in mind, guys. So we have the Demonic blend consisting of 4,709 milligrams. That's active ingredients, so obviously the rest of that is just flavouring and what they use to bond it all together. So a proprietary blend means that we're not going to know the exact dosages of each of these ingredients, which is a downside because I don't know if you're anything like us, but you kind of want to know how much of certain things you're putting in your body. You don't just want to guess it all. You know, you could be getting like a gram of caffeine. Who's to say you're not? You never know. But anyway, let's break it down as best we can and get into each ingredient, what it does. So first up, we have the beta-alanine, the itchy, tingly, sensational type ingredient that we normally like to see at about 3.2 grams. So if it's in here at 3.2 grams, guess what? That's already taken up, what, 80–90% of that total ingredient blend there. Dosage. So we're probably going to be looking at some underdosing here potentially. Well, actually I would say, you know, more than likely. So beta-alanine is that ingredient. It gives you the itchy tingle sensation when it kicks in and also helps with endurance when it builds up in your system. Then we've got randomly creatine monohydrate in a pre-workout like this. Like, come on, what the hell? You're not exactly going to be taking this daily, are you? Or even remotely frequently based on the label and, well, we'll get into the effects. Creatine helps with power output, overall performance, pumps, you know, that sort of thing, guys. Creatine, most studied supplement supplementational ingredient in the world. So very useful. We're kind of the mindset of we don't mind it in pre-workouts if they're in daily driver pre-workouts, you know, ones that you would actually be using on a frequent basis, and at a sufficient dose, you know, 3 to 5 grams, with 5 grams being optimal. In here, I'd be surprised if it's even in here at a couple of grams, to be honest with you guys. Then we've got ascorbic acid, which is simply just vitamin C. That's just an overall health type ingredient. It helps with energy production, healing, immune system boosting, all that sort of thing. Then we've got caffeine anhydrous, your typical stimulant that you see in pre-workout. It's going to kick in after sort of like 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. It's going to wake you up and get you moving. Again, no idea on the dose. We typically see 300 to 400 milligrams in pre-workouts these days. No idea what it is in here. Could be 100 milligrams, could be a gram. Then we move to juniper berry extract, which is an interesting one. We see it pop up occasionally. It's been touted to increase the uptake and the effectiveness of caffeine. We don't necessarily know if we experience that in our anecdotal experience of using pre-workouts with it in. It can be a bit of a hit or miss ingredient for us. And it also has been shown to reduce inflammation and help flush water out your system, because it is also a diuretic. So a bit of an interesting one. Then we move to bitter orange citrus aurantium peel extract, which contains synephrine, so it's going to help with fat burning, weight loss, a bit of stimulation, a bit of energy. It also helps with anti-inflammation, so you know, we're used to seeing that in pre-workouts these days. Then we've got hordenine HCl, which is another nice fat burning type ingredient, also been shown to help with mood elevation, as it helps to increase chemicals in the brain responsible for mood boosting. Then we've got dimethylamine, which is DMAE, which is responsible for helping with your mood, your memory, your focus, all that sort of thing. It's not the best focus ingredient. You know, I think it does struggle to cross over the blood-brain barrier, but we'll take it nonetheless. Then we've got Rauwolfia vomitora extract, aka Alpha Yo. Again, this is what worries me. Not knowing the dosage of Alpha Yo is a concern. When I was taking this pre-workout, I was like, shit, okay, this could go very badly, because 3 milligrams or more could make you end up in a bad place, because it is a very, very potent stimulant, often used for weight loss because it obviously helps fat burning. More beneficial when used on an empty stomach for that side of things, though, I will say. But it can come with the effects of cold sweats, jitters, a nauseous type feeling, like just ill feeling if it's dosed. Well, basically, if you're either sensitive to it or if it's dosed higher than normal. So yeah, we'll have to just go by the effects in terms of what we think the dosage of it is in this formula. And then we wrap off with Huperzea serrata leaf standardized extract, which is huperzine A. We see that quite a bit in pre-workouts. It helps with memory and focus and cognition. So we got a bit of, you know, a few different bits and pieces here. We've got a couple of bits for endurance and power, a few bits for stimulants, a few bits for focus. So yeah, how's it going to come together in real life? We've got no digestive aid. Wouldn't say we necessarily need it when it's only a 7.5 gram scoop, but yeah, let's see how it translates in the gym. Okay, let's talk about demonic in the couple of times myself and Aaron have used it, most notably, most recently for a leg day. So, beta-alanine, it's normally the first thing you feel kicking in pre-workouts. Did we feel it? Almost non-existent, to be totally honest with you guys. Like, if you didn't tell me it was in here, I probably wouldn't know. I would say honestly like 2, maybe a 3 out of 10 on the tingle scale. Like, maybe you get a bit of heating sensation, but that could just be the general stimulation of all the other bits kicking in. There's no itches and tingling, at least for myself or for Aaron in this product. So if you like beta-alanine, you'll be a bit, you know, disappointed that it doesn't kick in that strong in this pre-workout. If you don't like beta-alanine, you'll be giving it a thumbs up, because you don't really feel it well, unless you're hypersensitive to it, in which case, I don't know. So yeah, don't really feel that. You do, however, feel, after about half an hour, a very switched on sense of urgency type feeling. You feel the caffeine and all those other stimulants hit. Let's just jump straight to it. The Alpha Yo, you don't really feel it. Probably guess that it's in there, you know, at literally 0.5 milligram to 1 milligram maximum, you know, or maybe more, and it's just a weak form of it. I don't really know. But the point of the matter is you don't really feel it all too strong. I mean, you feel a bit of a buzz from it potentially, but none of the negatives. So actually, whilst it sounds like that's negative talk, it's actually a positive, because We're not necessarily massive fans of Alpha Yo. We don't like the excessive jittery feeling it gives you, the excess saliva, the cold sweats, all of that nastiness we find it can take away from your training, especially with the shortness of breath side of things it can sometimes bring at higher dosages. So the fact it's in here at a lower dose, presumably, is a good thing to us because you get that bit of buzz without any of the negatives. So far, it's looking like things aren't kicking in as strong as you might think, at least when it concerns the beta-alanine and the Alpha Yo. But what I would say, where this pre-workout shines is the focus. And it's kind of hard to explain because it's not a DMHA euphoric off your bonds focus. It's more like a very serious tunneled in, really just like blanket focus, like you've got the blinders on like the horses where you're just looking forward and you're like, that kind of focus. Similar kind of feel to the last pre-workout I reviewed, or the last high stim one I reviewed, Pre-Domination I think it was called. Only done that one a couple of weeks ago if you want to check that out if you missed it. Similar kind of focus package here in terms of how we felt it. So there's no super illicit off your bonds feeling where you're like don't know what planet you're on and you feel frazzled for the rest of the day or anything like that, or you're tripping, nothing like that. It's a very productive, switched on, tunnel vision focus, perfect for training, no mucking around, no silliness, just straight up dialed in. So focus is without a doubt the high point of this product, followed by the energy. Like the energy is no slouch, don't get me wrong. It's not crazy energy though, you won't find your heart beating out your chest, you won't find yourself like having to catch your breath or having to cut sets short because you can't breathe, or it's nothing nasty like that. So energy is high, but I don't want to say healthy feeling, but doesn't cross the barrier into nasty town, let's just put it that way. So focus I would honestly give like a 9 out of 10, like it's very, very good, very focus. Behind that, I would give energy an 8 out of 10. That is, like I said, very useful energy. It's usable energy. It's not so much that it actually becomes a hindrance to you. And the energy lasts, I would say it kicks in after about half an hour, and that energy will last a good 3 to 4 hours. The focus, however, lasts longer. That takes about maybe half hour to 45 minutes to kick in, and that sense of very serious focus will last for, I would say honestly, like 6 hours or more. And there's no nasty crash to it. I didn't finish training and get in and feel dead or frazzled or weird or anything like that some of these DMHA, DMAA, super illicit type pre-workouts can give you. There was nothing like that here. So I was able to finish my training session, get home. There was some appetite suppression. Obviously, you'd come to expect that with these higher stim products. So I did have to force the meal down a little bit. I wasn't exactly buzzing to get eating. I did have to kind of eat on purpose because I knew I had to eat rather than I wanted to eat. So you could look at that as a positive or a negative depending on whether you're cutting or bulking or maintaining, which I am at the minute.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
So yeah, I would say overall it's ticking all the right boxes. There's no real harsh negatives to it, which is good. Perfect for training, a serious, nasty leg or back day where you really want to be firing on all cylinders. You don't want to muck around. You want to go for PBs. You know you're not going to get any negatives. Yeah, I think that does cover it all, guys. I'm not really going to touch on the pumps because it's not promising pumps, nor does it give you any ingredients that are going to help with the pumps directly, at least. So the pumps aren't a factor, and nor did I really get pumped on it beyond what I would typically get pumped naturally. So yeah, taking that into account, the fact there's no negatives, the focus is super potent and noticeable and the standout point. The energy is very much up there as well. I'm going to give it an overall score of, let me think, I really do ponder about these overall scores. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. If I'm looking at the real world effects and how well I trained, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. The thing that takes away for me is the fact, yes, there's no pumps. Yes, it's a proprietary blend. Yes, it doesn't taste great. The saving grace for this product is the decent focus, more than decent focus, very good energy, very, very well priced. Like I could easily recommend it on that price, what was it, 71p a go, dirt cheap. So bang for buck is up there massively, massively. So yeah, if you are a stim junkie after something that's not too off your nut, but also gets the job done in a productive, dialed in way, and you're on a bit of a budget, definitely recommend it. If you are a beginner, or even an intermediate, I probably wouldn't recommend it. In fact, I definitely wouldn't for beginners. Possibly for intermediates if you want to, you know, put your foot in the water or whatever the saying is and try something a bit more higher stim. So yeah, I think that does wrap it up for this one, guys. So yeah, do head over to Cross the Limits, check out what they've got on offer. Obviously, this is on the site for that decent price if you want to pick it up. They sell all kinds of high stim junkie type products and more, and the discount code works on all of it. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on this, anything else you want to see us review, all of the usuals, and as always, stay stimmed.
Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you